we on?
Oh, we are. Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the pre-show.
You
and
seriously,
happy
you turn on the
Friday.
microphones at like 15 seconds, and then I have to be like, oh, I can't say anything dumb.
We
I have to save
discussed
those
this
for on air. Save all my hair is not doing what I want it to
Same.
do.
Look at mine. We discussed this yesterday. I do it because
You
I'm
enjoy the
tired of
silence?
you talking, so
Tough
I
but
turned them on
fair.
early.
Tough but fair. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. Mallory, Dateline, Reykjavik, Iceland.
What?
You ever been to Iceland?
No.
I've heard it's lovely.
You want to hear a cool fact?
Here we go. Here are the cool facts. Is Mallory Hartley.
So, okay, Greenland is
Uh-huh.
actually full of ice, and Iceland is actually full of lush and green and forest. So, I found that out a while ago. But that is, speaking of Iceland, that is your fact for the day. So,
And here we go. We need to have like a sounder for like
yeah.
Mallory
You get a little bit
Hartley's
of geography.
Fun fact of the day. I'm a geography nerd. I love geography. Okay.
Mhm.
Dateline, Reykjavik, Iceland.
Okay.
Reading from Travel and Leisure, although this was published all over the place because this was a big thing. Permanent 3-day weekends could soon be more than just wishful thinking. An Icelandic study released this week showed that reduced 4-day work weeks are not only more efficient, but also helped relieve stress and burnout for employees. Iceland's Association of Sustainability and Democracy and the UK's think tank Autonomy paired up for the study that was run from 2015 to 2019, so 4 years. During this time, work weeks were shortened to 35 or 36 hours for 2,500 workers, more than 1% of the Icelandic population, without reducing their salaries. The study included a variety of professions, including those who work in museums, daycares, assisted living facilities, botanical gardens, human resources, finance, medicine, public safety, etc. Among the tactics used with the new schedule were fewer meetings that were more focused. One office banned meetings starting after 3 p.m.
Wow.
That's a brilliant idea. We'll get to that in a
That-
moment.
okay,
Encouraging emails over meetings, shorter coffee breaks, and limiting personal business and errands to be done outside of work hours. Quote, the trials were successful. Participating workers took on fewer hours and enjoyed greater well-being, improved work-life balance, and a better cooperative spirit in the workplace, all while maintaining existing standards of performance and productivity, end quote, the study concluded.
Interesting.
So, now here's the problem. The problem is our line of work, we do, even though you're coming in and you're clocking in 9 to 5 like right now,
You're always on the clock, basically.
we work weird hours. And so
Yes.
this does not apply to us, to
Right.
be very clear. But I do like the idea of the 4-day work week. I think
Okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Question for you then.
Okay.
So would you, in your opinion, if you could choose, would you take that Monday off or that Friday off to make it a 3-day?
I would
Weekend.
take every Monday off.
Yes,
Take every Monday off.
I agree with you, and here's why. Friday already has that good vibe to it, right? Everybody loves Friday, so keep that. Everybody hates Monday because
Get rid
it's
of
the
it.
start of the week. So
Get rid
just get rid of it.
And you
Yeah,
can have, I mean,
exactly.
and I read a great tweet the other day, and we'll get some bad tweets a little later, but
Yes.
I read a great tweet the other day about this that said that every weekend needs to be 3 days because one day is just recovery.
Right.
One day is just, I'm talking decompressing, etc. One day, you need to get stuff done. Okay.
Right.
And maybe I'm just speaking as a father and a husband and a homeowner. Like, there's just a lot of crap that has to be done.
Right.
That I could devote an entire day to. And then
Exactly.
another day could just be a personal day. It could be
Right.
for you. And I think that's spot on. I think that we've got this. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about, like, I think we have fetishized work. We have made it like it's part of our bootstrap mentality of like, you got to work hard and stuff like that.
Right.
I think you look around the world and we work way harder than a lot of other people. Without as good of outcomes as other people get. And this could be a way to break that cycle. It's okay to take time, like personal time
Right.
for you.
And
your family.
also, if that happens, you can get rid of the Sunday scaries. You know, have you heard of the Sunday Scaries?
Of course.
I love Sunday. I really do love Sundays, but I do sometimes
I
get
like
a little
it because
stressed
I
on
like it
Sundays.
because it's the Lord's Day.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah, right. And so
I'm looking at you guys to make you feel guilty.
right
I'm
into
just
the
kidding.
camera.
Go ahead. Just buzzing Lynn.
But it would get rid of that. I
Yeah.
love Sundays, and so
Totally
it would
agree.
get rid of that, and then you'll just have the Monday Scaries.
Right.
I guess.
That's fine.
But it's
But
Monday
here's the
because nobody
thing.
cares about Mondays.
But here's the thing. You would have, I think it would shift our entire way of thinking if we just thought of the weekend
Right.
as Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yes.
As opposed to, I mean, it is kind of crazy that like you can still work more days than you don't work,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
Like you're still working most of the time.
Right.
I don't know. I think we should all take a look at this.
I think we should
I think the
definitely
people in
look into
Iceland.
it.
I think the people in Iceland have something going here.
They're onto something.
They're onto something.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
So shout out Iceland.
Yes.
All right, hit the theme expo. Let's go! Free money! Free
Ain't how to sing the blues, baby. Shot glass in your hand.
Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful, scenic, crime-free Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a show online. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Are we on all those platforms right now, Mallory?
We are.
Or you're listening to us
I
on the
made
podcast?
sure to do that.
Thank you. Or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting here in this chair, sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's my mal pal. She is your mal pal.
She's everybody's mal pal.
Everybody's mal pal. She's Mallory Hartley. Hi, Mallory.
Hello.
It's the end of the week.
It is.
You
We
made it.
it. I did. I'm still here.
I know. You did it.
Haven't gotten fired yet. Well, you did fire me this morning. But
Yeah.
that doesn't
and
really
we
mean
got
much.
a few more minutes in the show, so
very
let's let this thing cook a little bit.
Today
Today is Friday, July 9th, 2021, 140 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to
Who did we say? Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Happy birthday, Tom Hanks. T.
Happy
Hanks.
birthday. He is 65 years old.
He can retire.
He does not look that old, though.
Of course he doesn't. You know why?
He's-
He's rich. The rich never look old.
You've got a good point. Got a good
Episode 1201. On today's show, friends, we got a couple of interviews for you, including Austin LBJ coach Jamal Fenner, a member of the 40 under 40, Dave Campbell's Texas Football 40 under 40. We'll hear from him, and then we'll hear from new El Campo coach Chad Worrell, who about moving from Brock to El Campo. We talked with him at State 7 on 7 a couple weeks ago. And then back out of the show, it is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. We're answering your questions. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel. If you've got questions, I don't want to overwhelm Mallory today. So please, if you're watching somewhere else, like if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, thank you. But please go on to Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's, and ask your questions there. High school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel,
whatever you want.
whatever you got. We got
Whatever you
questions.
got.
And I've got a special segment for you that I haven't prepared you for. So we'll have that coming up here at the back half of the show. Do it first 4 through the door.
We sure do. It was Lance Pickle.
Who?
LP. Lance Pickle. Ed McElroy, Rob Hadaway, and Jacob John. Welcome in, fellas.
Hi, friends. Okie dokie. Let's get to it. A couple weeks ago, we were in College Station for the State 7 on 7 tournament. Talked with a number of coaches out there. One of them is a member of the 40 under 40, our picks for 40 of the finest young coaches in the state of Texas. Austin LBJ coach Jamal Fenner. Matt Stepp caught up with him. Here is our conversation with Austin LBJ coach Jamal Fenner here on Texas Football Today.
Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football out here at the State 7 on 7 State Championships here with the head coach of the LBJ Jaguars, Coach Jamal Fenner, one of our 40 under 40 coaches in the magazine. First off, Coach, congratulations on that honor.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. I mean, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of that group, and, I take it with pride, so thank you.
Yeah, what's that say about the development of your program, especially being a coach in the inner city, to be on a list with all the a lot of great coaches have been on that list and are on the list now? What's that mean to you and your program for that kind of credibility for you guys?
I mean, it speaks volumes. I think for us, really being able to establish ourselves as a program that's elite, and then just to be able to get that recognition as a coach, it's an honor. So we take a lot of pride in the development and the time we put in with our kids. So it's great to be recognized for that.
You guys had a hell of a year last year. You went to the state semifinals, a deep run, and that run I know carries over into the next season because all that extra practice time you guys get. I mean, you guys got 5 extra weeks to work out with your kids, bring your JV kids up and let them work with the varsity, probably get into some games, that kind of thing. How big is that when you're trying to develop a consistent winning program when you make those runs to have those deep runs and those kids getting that extra work in?
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes your team. When you look at, transitioning, you have kids that graduate out, and then you have those younger guys that get that experience during that time. Now you want them to go ahead and carry that tradition on. So we feel like we set a standard last year, and we're looking forward to the younger guys coming up to be able to fulfill those same type of goals.
Last year, we didn't know we were going to have a football season at this time. How excited are you and your kids to have qualified for the state 7-on-7 tournament for the second straight year and to be able to actually do these things? We were all worried last year, and I know it was some tense moments there where we weren't sure if we were going to play. How refreshing and how excited have your kids been at summer workouts and being able at 7-on-7 tournaments to be able to do these things again?
Yeah, I think it's, like you said, it's refreshing. Everybody's excited about coming to workouts. Obviously not being able to do it during this time last year, everybody can recognize that and say, you know what, we missed this time, and so we really focused on the development part and really getting those guys bigger, stronger, and faster, but also, working our craft within our positions and understanding the schemes as well, because we get that extra time too.
When we talked after the playoff game last year against Alice, your young quarterback, he was a sophomore. He was starting to really develop, and you had mentioned that not playing 7-on-7 and kind of hurt him early in the year as he missed those reps. How have you seen your quarterback's development playing 7-on-7, and how much has he grown up?
Yeah, we've seen the progression, and early on with our 7-on-7, he struggled, and we just tried to play as many games as we could locally and then also with qualifiers, and we've seen him progress, and now he's taking the lead, and he's able to make checks and make calls, and so we're really proud of his growth during this time, and we know that this is what he needed.
What are you looking to see out of your kids today? I mean, obviously you can't coach them. I know that's tough because you want to be out there with the kids coaching them. So what do you want to see out of your kids? In a tough pool, you're playing some good teams and some name programs. I know the work is going to be great for you guys, but what do you want to see out of the Jaguars today?
I just want them to compete. I want them to go out there and play with a high level and play with pride and, just play together as a team, because this is about building chemistry to go into your regular season. So whatever success we have, obviously we'll be able to carry that on with us. But then whatever struggles we have as well, we'll be able to teach and we'll be able to correct those things so they can understand that, look, the expectation is here. We didn't perform at that level, but I'm hoping these guys go out here and play at a very high level.
Now, our own Ishmael Johnson is a Manor guy, and he all opened the season with Manor. I think he's going to come down and watch the game over at Nelson Field. But if me or Tepper can come to a game at Nelson Field to catch the Jaguars, where is the best place to eat around there for a pregame meal? Where do we need to grab a bite to eat at?
Ooh, man, you need to go to Southside Market, man. Go get you some barbecue. That's a place I love to eat at. But, yeah, Southside Market.
Are you a brisket or a ribs guy?
I'm a brisket and ribs and sausage and turkey and chicken.
So you're a no sides guy is what you're telling us.
That's right. I want all the meat.
There you go, Coach. Appreciate your time. Congratulations on all the success last year. We appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas, and good luck this year in 2021.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
There he is, Jamal Fenner, head coach of the Austin LBJ Jaguars. Of course, they ran all the way to the state semifinal last year. A remarkable run. I think there is a notion that Austin LBJ, they lost Latrell McCutcheon, they lost Andrew Makuba, like they're going to fall back to the pack. I just don't think that's the case. I think that program's here to stay. I think that I don't think last year was a flash in the pan. I think that maybe it was the coming out party they've been waiting for, and I don't necessarily anticipate that going away. So if you think that last year was an accident, and I think as long as they got Jamal Fenner there, I think they're going to be solid every single year. And so
they looked real good at state 7-on-7.
They've got
Their
dudes,
quarterback
man.
Can sling
They
it.
have got dudes.
Yeah, and I mean they just looked good. Like
Yes.
their they had so many playmakers on that field. Looked so good.
Most certainly. So we appreciate Jamal Fenner of Austin LBJ catching up with us. Another guy that I got to talk to is another coach on the move. Although Jamal Fenner wasn't. Another coach in the 4A ranks, I should say. El Campo. And Coach Chad Worrell, their new coach, moving from an exceptionally good stint at Brock, bringing them glory in kind of launching their football program. He's now moving to El Campo to take over the Rice Birds, where he takes over a loaded roster. Excited to see what Coach Worrell does. Here is my conversation with El Campo coach Chad Worrell here on Texas Football Today.
Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here in College Station at the State 7-on-7 tournament with the new head coach of the El Campo Rice Birds, Coach Chad Worrell. Coach, first and foremost, I don't think I've talked to you since the move, so congratulations on the new gig.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Greg. We excited to get moved in. Everybody's kind of settled in now, and summer workouts going, so it's going good so far.
I'll ask you a question I ask a lot of first-time coaches is when you talked with your guys, when you addressed them as head coach for the first time, what was your message to them?
You know, we just talked about what it takes to be a champion, and not just on the football field, but in life, and making them successful individuals down the road, and kind of what gave them a real quick overview of what we're going to try to do there while we run this program, and they've bought in and done every bit of it that we've asked so far.
The buy-in, I imagine, trickles down to what we've seen this summer in 7-on-7, that, you know, you guys are out here making it to the state tournament and stuff like that. What have you seen from your guys throughout the course of the summer that has you excited for the fall?
You know, just they're showing up. Our summer conditioning camp's going so well with the numbers and the effort that we're getting from them while they're there. The buy-in for the lineman challenge that's going on. We're in Abilene on Saturday for that. And then the 7-on-7, you know, showing up and competing, whether it's hot or a cool day or sunny or whatever. You know, they've shown up and competed every day that we've played.
So, you know, give me a feel for what this El Campo team is going to look like. Because, look, we have high hopes for you guys. No pressure. We have high hopes for you. We think you got a talented bunch. You know, what is the Chad Worrell coached El Campo team going to look like?
You know, hopefully it's going to be a fundamentally sound team, and a team that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, a team that takes care of the football and plays good defense. And, you know, we always talk about football. I've talked to the kids a lot this spring about the simplicity of the game is blocking and tackling. The team that usually does that wins the game, and hopefully that we'll be sound at those two aspects.
What do you want to see from your guys out here? What are you hoping to come away with?
Honestly, just a competitive nature. This is a grind out here, and anyone that's been here, and you guys have been here many years, you know that, you know, the 3 games today are a grind. Then when you start playing tomorrow, you know, you start dealing with dehydration and cramping, and it's a grind to make it as far as you can here, and it takes a lot of guts, to be honest with you. And so I just want to watch our kids compete and see how they respond when adversity hits.
Okay, and finally, you know, you're a football coach, but today you're a fan. How do you think you're going to handle not being able to coach your guys?
Yeah, I'm honestly more nervous at 7-on-7 games than I am a regular Friday night game. You know, I guess it's the lack of control that you have over here, and you feel obviously more like a fan, and you know, it makes me more nervous to sit over here than it does to stand on the sidelines on Friday nights.
You're going to be yelling about play calls?
Play calls and refereeing. So that's the 2 things. No, I'm just joking. Hopefully not. But yeah, the fan definitely comes out in us as we sit back here and watch.
Coach, appreciate your time, my friend.
Hey, thanks.
There is Chad Worrell, the new head coach of the El Campo Rice Birds, talking with me down there at State 7-on-7 in College Station. And I agree. I'd rather talk to Step too.
That was a good comment.
Yeah.
He said he looked disappointed that he's not talking.
He should.
Step.
He should. Step's behind the camera on that one. And Coach Worrell's just like, so I got to
Shaking
deal
his
with
head.
this jabroni instead of like the guy in the big dumb hat?
The guy in the big
Yes.
dumb hat.
I agree. You're right. I would rather be interviewed by Matt Stepp than me as well. So in any case,
Me too.
In any case, I appreciate Coach Chad Worrell from El Campo catching up with me at State 7-on-7. We are at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. You get this magazine, we'll mail it to you. So if you're out of state, I should say, I get this question all the time. It's like, hey, I live in California. What stores can I find it in? I got bad news about our distribution model. We don't sell in stores out there. If you are out of state, if you're not in Texas, or you're in Texas and you just want to get it delivered to your door and not run around to your local grocery store, TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider and a year's worth of exclusive online content. TexasFootball.com. So there you go. All right, Mallory, it's time to round out the week with Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. Do you have something you want to tell me?
I do. It's very informal.
Please do.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit northtexashondadealers.com to learn more. It's actually ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
ntxhondadealers.com.
So, yes.
Thank you very much,
welcome.
North Texas Honda dealers. We love you very much. Buy a Honda.
Yes.
Buy a Honda.
I actually was at 2 dealerships yesterday.
2 Honda dealerships. Yeah.
Yeah, to deliver some magazines. They were all very nice.
Yeah. So
Very
if
nice.
you go buy a Honda right now, I think they're like those places they'll give you a magazine too. So it's like buy a Honda and get a magazine with it. Like
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
With a cool cover wrap.
All right. If you got questions, high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, anything you got in the Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday, let us know in the comments on Facebook. We will get to as many as we can in just a moment. But first, Mallory, I have the inaugural edition of a new segment that I'm debuting here on Texas Football Today called This Week in Bad Takes. That's right.
Ooh.
I've
All right.
scoured the internet, and I've found
Okay.
2 of the very, very, very worst takes that I could find,
Okay.
and I want to bring them to you.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to do politics. We're not going to deal with that
Yeah.
nonsense here.
No.
So save your comments.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're not talking about that. I'm not going to blow up this girl's Twitter because she's got enough grief over this tweet.
Oh, I'm sure. I do.
But there was a tweet back on July 6th, and it comes with a poll. And the poll had 368,000 votes on it. So
68.
368,000
368. Wow.
votes.
Oh.
So this went a little bit viral. Maybe you've
Okay.
seen it.
Maybe.
Let me read this to you because it's a yes/no question.
Okay.
Had this argument in a group chat, but I want to know the truth. Isn't it very tacky for somebody to eat the free bread as soon as you get it?
Oh. Okay. All right. I think you go first.
97.7% voted no. And they're exactly right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. What do you think that bread is for?
4. Exactly. And okay. So this has to do with like, is this fancy restaurants or is this just like
I don't
restaurants
care.
in general? Okay. Well,
If you get free bread, which is a lot of places,
Yes.
right? I want you to think about this, or let me turn this on its head, right? You get free bread, or they bring you chips and salsa, right?
Okay.
Are you
yes,
saying
yes.
you're not supposed to dive in immediately?
Right.
What kind of rules are we setting up to live our worst life?
Right. Okay. Well, if I go to if I know I'm going to a fancy restaurant, like in the day or something,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to eat very much because I'm
Yes.
like I'm going to pig out on
Yes.
steak and mashed potatoes and bread.
And
so
bread.
you best bet when I get there, I'm starving.
Now, you're only 22.
Yes.
And so you are not as accomplished a drinker as I am, okay?
Right.
I'm an exceptionally accomplished drinker.
Yes. Yes.
If you ever go to a bar, and especially like a nice bar,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm a fan of scotch, I have definitely told a couple of bartenders in my life, hey, I want you to keep an eye on my glass, and when the glass gets down to here, I want you to bring another.
Keep it coming.
Okay?
Right.
Keep it coming. I want that all the time with bread and with chips
Yes.
and salsa.
Yes.
Okay? Is it like when that bowl gets a little gets mostly low?
Mhm.
Come on,
I
we're gonna need some
actually-
more.
I had an experience last night with this. So I
Oh?
went to a semi-fancy restaurant. It's called Max Bar and Grill in Arlington. It's
'Kay.
pretty good. But we sat there. No hate to our waitress, but we sat there for like 20 minutes. No bread. All the other tables had bread. I was hungry. I was ready
No.
to dig into this bread. So of course, when she brought it out, I was like, "Yeah, give
That-
it here." Just scooping it in because I was hungry.
What is the purpose? What is the social value of waiting to eat that bread? None.
None. It's
None.
to be classy or to
No,
not look
it's to be
tacky.
not tacky.
Yes,
I would
yes.
rather be tacky and full.
Yes, there you go. I don't care about being tacky. Who
Like,
cares?
let me just issue a hot take.
Okay.
If you're hungry, eat.
Right.
How about that? How about that?
Okay,
So,
but
yes.
is it really a hot take if 97%?
I'm just saying, no.
said-
I'm saying this week in bad takes, and that's a bad take.
Oh, okay. Bad
Isn't
takes.
it very
Excuse
tacky
me.
to eat for somebody to eat the free bread as soon as you get it?
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You're 100% wrong.
I get
Okay,
the idea.
there's that.
behind this
And by the
now.
way, if you want to call me tacky, that's fine. I've been called a lot worse in the comments on this episode of the show. The second in today's installment of This Week in Bad Takes comes from an article that I believe was released last weekend. Okay? I'm going to read the headline. The headline is, "Admit it, grilling is bad." The tweet that comes along with it from this heathenist author. "Your grill is filthy, has poor temperature control, and for some idiot reason has the heating element below the food so that fat drips into it and catches fire. There's a better way to cook in your kitchen."
Okay. So,
I'm just going to go out on a limb and tell you no.
no.
Grilling is not bad. Grilling rules.
That is a really bad take.
That's a
I mean,
terrible take.
the last one was like, yeah, pretty bad, but this one is mega bad.
This is offensively bad.
It is. It's offensive.
I'm offended by this take. I'm offended.
Grilling is so
grilling-
much better
grilling-
than cooking on the stove.
Grilling, yes, absolutely. The flavor is better.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
just way better.
Get a little charcoal on
And
your hot
and
dog.
here's the thing. If you are looking at this and your complaints are your grill is filthy, has poor temperature control, etc., then maybe the problem is you.
Yeah, maybe you're a bad griller.
Maybe you're bad at grilling.
Can you
okay.
be bad at grilling though? Like
I don't know how. But it is it's I don't know. I like that one went a little bit viral, and I think that the whole reason behind the reason he wrote it was to be a contrarian and to be a jerk. But let me tell you, it's a bad take. Grilling's excellent. And if you don't like grilling, I mean, I don't know if we can be friends.
no.
I'm
you're-
just sorry.
You're a
I have
heathen.
enough friends, all of whom like grilling
Yes.
universally.
That's like also what you do on Sundays too, I feel like.
Yes.
In the summertime, you grill out by the pool and it just tastes that much better.
Hey, but I ain't gonna limit it to the summertime either.
True.
Especially in Texas.
Grilling could be a year-round thing.
Yeah.
So.
Really, the only time you can't grill is like when it's snowing, basically.
Yeah.
And it
And
never
even
snows
then-
here, so there you go.
Even then,
You
I
could
might
still
fight,
do it.
I might fight through it.
Yeah, you could still do
Anyway,
it.
that's this week's inaugural episode of This Week in Bad Takes.
I think we should definitely incorporate this into.
If you've got bad takes, tweet them to Mallory. What's your Twitter handle?
it's at Mallory Hartley.
At Mallory Hartley. If you
I should
find
change it to
if you see a bad take, let Mallory know, and we will
Yes.
try to spotlight as many as we can on This Week in Bad Takes.
This week.
All right. Do we have any questions from the peeps?
We have many questions.
Okay.
From our peeps. I'm trying to decide which one I want to start off with, but we'll keep it simple at first. So we're gonna go with, what is your favorite animal?
My favorite animal?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you start. What's your favorite animal?
You know what? Might be kind of cheesy, but it's a dolphin.
The dolphin.
It's a dolphin.
That's
I
a
think.
very
because
I don't want to be I don't want to say something that you're going to construe as offensive, but like I can see you as somebody who likes dolphins.
they're really smart.
That's
though.
I think that's, you think that they're fun, they're cute, they're harmless, largely harmless, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I can see that. I also have an aquatic animal as my
Okay.
favorite, and I've always loved these animals.
Uh-huh.
The penguin rules. The penguin
That's
is
a
excellent.
good one.
The penguin
That's a good
the
one.
penguin is excellent.
What's that movie that has all the penguins in
Happy
it?
Feet.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's a good movie about dancing penguins.
Has Hank seen it?
No.
Hank's got to see it.
No, he hasn't.
That's a big good one.
Penguins are excellent. When we went to the zoo, we took Hank to the zoo in St. Louis, and they have a penguin house, and we went into it, and he thought that it was just the coolest thing in the world. And you know why? Because penguins rule. Penguins are excellent. Good job, penguins.
Yes.
What's
go
next?
penguins. All right. What is your dream vacation location?
I've mentioned this before, but the place that I've never been that I've always wanted to go is Japan.
Ooh, good one.
I've always wanted to go to Japan. Everything's super old, which makes me like very happy in a deep way. And it's like the history there is remarkable there. It's also just weird enough. Like it's got the right level of weird of like being so different. The food is outstanding. They play baseball over there, and I'm a fan of baseball.
Right.
Yes. Japan has always been my kind of dream trip. One day I'll do it, although I have a kid, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But yes, Japan has always been at the top of my list. My wife for a long time was big into wanting to go to Russia, kind of for the same reasons of like you go to like Moscow, you go to St. Petersburg. Those are different cities, right? Yeah. You go to those you go to like the big cities, and like the history there is so like everything old in America is like from the 1700s, and everything old in Japan and like maybe in Russia is from like the 900s.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that seems super cool to me.
I think it'd be a really cool place to go to.
What about you?
You're
like I would love if you were like, you know where I've always wanted to go?
San Antonio.
South Carolina.
No.
What's the lamest state to really want to visit? Be like, you know where I've always wanted to go? Delaware.
Idaho.
Hey, I've heard
Potato.
Idaho rules. Actually, I've heard
All right.
Idaho's pretty cool.
All right.
So
Potatoes? I think of potatoes.
I would
when think of
hate on Idaho.
Okay.
You know where I've always wanted to go? Central Kansas.
That's not what I was going to say.
I was going to Topeka.
No.
Okay.
I think mine would be New Zealand.
Yeah.
My uncle.
Let's go with the Kiwis.
Yeah, my uncle is from New Zealand.
Oh, cool.
So lots of Kiwi talk over there. He's a huge rugby guy. So I would I don't know. I always see cute pictures from over there.
Here's a fun
Water looks
Lord
great.
of the Rings, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Did you know? Fun fact. Did you know that their prime minister is, I believe, the first in world history, like head of state or one of very few to give birth while in office? Jacinda Ardern.
No,
I read
did
that.
not know
I read
that.
that a couple of weeks ago about Jacinda Ardern. That she gave birth while she was in office, and it was like one of the first. She was like one of the first ever heads of state to give birth. And we're not talking like the Queen of England, who's obviously given birth and stuff like that.
Right.
But anyway,
Very
that's
interesting. You
there
learn
go.
something new
Yeah.
every day. I
think
guess.
elected official. I think as far as like elected head of state.
I'll have to call him
'cause-
and tell him that I know more about.
Because they
your
don't
history.
elect the queen. Because because they're anti-democratic.
Anyway,
Right.
what's that? Go on.
Anyways, moving on.
I have some thoughts
To-
about the royal family. If you want to get into it, but
Another day.
that's another day.
All right, we'll move on.
That's as political as I'm gonna get.
Right. We'll do a little bit of Texas high school football. Other than Aledo or Carthage, what school would you bet your house on to win the title?
Other than Aledo or Carthage, because I do think
Yes.
that Carthage is probably the number one biggest favorite to win a title.
Mm-hmm.
Aledo is probably up there as far as safe bets are safe-ish bets are concerned.
Maybe go 6A just because I feel like.
Oh, and I got to go with the 6A team.
Well, I mean, I guess you could do whatever, but maybe that would be more.
I mean, look.
Fun
I mean,
to-
Austin Westlake starts the year as number one.
Yeah.
But they have big questions, right? I know they've got Cade Klubnik, they got Jaden Greathouse and stuff, but they do, as much as we have talked about the great tradition of defense they have there under Coach Todd Dodge and under defensive coordinator Tony Salazar, they are replacing 9 starters on defense. It's like they're by no means a sure thing. You know, Katie has been great. The other thing about Westlake and Katie and Carroll, as we mentioned, is they can go D1 or D2. So
Right.
it's like you don't know what their path is. Aledo, we have a pretty decent idea of what their path is going to be, and I think that they're going to be favored. There's a couple of big hurdles in their way, but they'll be favored. Carthage, we know what their path is. I think they're going to be favored in every game that they play in 2021.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for somebody else that
Maybe
I would
Shiner stepping out of 6A.
Shiner.
Someone said that in the comments.
Well, Shiner, but here's the thing: we don't even have Shiner number 1. We have Furio number 1 in 2A Division 1,
Right.
and that's the thing. You go out in 2A Division 1. I'd say, okay, number 1 is Refugio, right, in Dave Campbell's Texas football. But they have to go through what is, I think, clearly the most difficult region. They have to go through Region 4, so they would have to go through Mason. They'd have to go through Shiner. They'd have to go through those really tough teams. Mart, maybe? Mart brings back a lot.
Yeah.
I think Mart might be the pick if you're saying who's the third. My pick for the third most likely team to win a title, I would say Mart. They bring back a lot from last year's team. The question is, how much of a hangover is there from getting beat by Windthorst in the title game? So I'd say that's the team that I would say. Argyle's up there too, but 4A Division I's really deep this year, and so even though I think Argyle's going to be really good, I don't know if I would say that they are like as much of like a favorite as Carthage in this instance. So that's what I'd say.
Even kind of going off of that, we've got another question: what sleeper teams should we be on the lookout for? I guess people in the comments. So kind of going off of that, the opposite end.
So, first of all, there's a great episode of Tep and Step, our premium high school football podcast, wherein Matt Stepp and I break down some of our favorite sleepers from across the state. So there's that. I'll give you a couple of teams that I've mentioned before. I really like I believe, where are they? What level are they? They're 2A Division II. I really like El Dorado. El Dorado brings back a lot. I love their quarterback, Corbin Covarrubias. I think he's excellent. They're a team that I don't know if you would consider them a sleeper, but they're a team that certainly intrigues me. That's a team that I would categorize as a sleeper. If you're looking for like a big school sleeper, I mean, look, I've come on this show and I've said it before. I think spring quarterback Bishop Davenport rules. I think he's awesome, and I think that he could take them a long way. The only question for them, I believe, do we have them in D1? The problem is if they go to D1, like that's the land of giants, and they're coming out of they're in Region 2, which is weird to think it's a Houston area team, but they're in Region 2, so they have to go through DeSoto, they'd have to go through Duncanville, they'd have to go through some of those really, really tough DFW teams. That gives me a little bit of pause, but Spring is a team that I think is a sleeper. I also run San Antonio in 6A. I think San Antonio Brennan's a sleeper. I like San Antonio Brennan a lot. I also like, I don't know if they're a sleeper anymore, Rockwall Heath, I think could be really good.
That's a good
in the
one.
6A ranks. And then I'll give you one more. I'll give you a 4A team. Who's a 4A sleeper? Let me look up and down my list of teams that I like. All right, they're hardly a sleeper because of what they do every year. But they're coming off of a tough year. I like Cuero. Cuero's got dudes, and Cuero's
they
always
looked good at 7-on-7
Cuero's
too.
always got athletes. I think Coach Jack Alvarez is doing a good job down there. I think that program's going to be very solid. I like Cuero to at least if they're a team that you've kind of I don't want to say written off, but a team that you're like, oh, last year they weren't very good, they're probably just going to be bad forever. I just don't think that's the case. So that would be a sleeper in my mind.
Good one.
Let's do 2 more.
Okay, this is a good one. This one's for me, but you can answer it too. It is, what did you like best about filling in for Pickle, and what did you not like?
Ooh, this is good.
Do you want me to go first?
I have no opinions. I'm just leaning back from my microphone.
Okay, I'll go first. What I didn't like, I missed her. I wish she was here. So, I liked filling in, obviously, but I miss her. I want her to come back. She's my friend and my coworker, and I miss her. So, what I liked best, I liked, obviously, the show. I just liked being able to do the show, like getting up every morning knowing that I will get to come in here and do the show. Right. It gives you something to do. It's different than, than just like, sitting out there. But yeah, I think that would just doing the show in general.
A surprisingly gentle answer. Surprisingly gentle. I presumed you're going to be like, the thing I hated the worst was
doing it with
Tepper.
you. I was going to say that, but I was like, no.
The thing I liked the most is when the show was over and I didn't have to talk with Tepper anymore.
Well, you see, I like my job, so I would not say that.
Tap on the temple there. Good job.
Okay, your turn.
Mine? I think I mean this genuinely. I think you've done a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm very glad that you're on our team. There you go.
What's
next? Don't make me say more nice things.
All right. Do we want to do one more? Okay. This one, we kind of already talked about this before, but someone said, looks like Chris Paul is getting his first championship. Which high school coach would you like to get there first?
So
a lot of people said Coach Samples.
So like is an interesting word. And I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear that like I like all Texas high school football coaches, and I'm not here biased, but as far as like the most accomplished coaches without a state championship, I mean, obviously Phil Danaher springs to mind. He's the winningest coach in Texas high school football history.
Right.
He has a grand total of, where are you at, Danaher? And by the way, I think his grandson's going to be playing this year, which is kind of crazy.
That's cool.
Not for I think it's Wes's kid, and I think he's going to be playing for Austin Bowie. He's at 480 wins, but he does not have a state championship. I would obviously love to see Coach Danaher win it. Reginald Samples is another obvious choice, if anything, because of the heartbreak he's experienced. There was, of course, people know that he was on the wrong end of the Galena Park North Shore Hail Mary over Duncanville.
Right.
Then they go, and in 2019, their quarterback hurts him, tears his ACL tears up his knee. Jaquin Jackson tears up his knee in the semifinal. I mean, he's had heartbreak. And then that doesn't even count when he was at Dallas Lincoln back in the 2003, 4. He takes Dallas Lincoln to, do you know the story?
I don't.
This is his first ever state championship game. He takes Dallas Lincoln to a state championship game, okay? They go to overtime with Kilgore, okay? Go to overtime.
Right.
They get the ball first. They're settling for a field goal there. It's blocked and returned for a game-winning touchdown by Kilgore, okay? He has experienced more heartbreak. He's been on the wrong end of Kyler Murray when he was at Skyline.
Right.
I mean, he has experienced more heartbreak. So I'd love to see him win one, obviously. The other one that I'll throw out there, if you're talking like most accomplished active coaches without a title, this is kind of, maybe this is off people's radar, but guys, Jamie Driscoll at Malakoff's been super good. Super, super, super good. And, they ran to Grandview when they made it to a title game. I would love to see Jamie Driscoll win a title. So those are the ones that immediately sprung to mind.
Gotcha.
But a good question.
That is, I really did like that question. I think it was a good ender for us.
Mallory,
So,
good week.
thank you.
Good week of shows. So
Have fun.
here's a programming note for next week. Okay, next week's a weird week, and the week after that's a weird week. So next week we'll have Pickle will be back Monday, I guess. I don't know.
Haven't
We'll
heard
see.
from her.
She might just live in Mexico now. She may live in Mexico, in which case Mallory will be back. We'll have a show Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, there will not be a show because we will be at we'll be at two places. We'll be the Texas Six-Man Coaches Association Clinic up in Wichita Falls. We'll also be in Arlington for Big 12 Media Days. We're going to divide and conquer. Ooh. Thursday, I believe there will not be a show. I know I won't be here because it's Tepwife and I's anniversary. So I know I won't be
anniversary.
here.
Early.
Tell me that next week. I got to make it there first. Let's see if she deals with me for another week. So I won't be here. I don't think there'll be a show because I think you and Pickle are going to Big 12 Media Days.
Yes, I think that's the
in Arlington.
plan.
That's Thursday.
As of now, yes.
Then we should have a show next Friday. Okay. Then we're getting on the road and we're going to San Antonio for coaching school. And so we'll be off the Monday and Tuesday after that. Should be back, knock on wood, the next Wednesday, but who knows? So keep your eyes peeled. The next couple weeks are going to be a little bit kind of fits and starts, but football season is kind of getting underway. We're going to have great content for you, of course, at TexasFootball.com, so make sure you check that out. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks to Chad Worrell of El Campo and to Jamal Finner of Austin LBJ for being our guests. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, grab this. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.